Three friends, two covers, one winner, and someone's in jail. Welcome to Cover By. Welcome back to my YouTube channel for today's edition of Cover By. I'm Ryan, aka Magic Lasso, and I'm joined by my panel, which consists of Comics for Thomas and Cookie from Just a Little Podcast. If you haven't subscribed to their individual YouTube channels, please make sure to do so when this video wraps up. I've left links to both channels in the description to this video. So in our last video in the comment section, the Gray Man asked, why do we call this Cover By, spelled B-Y-E? And he actually hit the nail on the head when he said, is it because you're saying bye to the cover that doesn't win? That's exactly why we spell it B-Y-E. And in today's edition of Cover By, we're looking at a pretty recent book. As a matter of fact, you still might be able to find this on shelves at your local LCS. This is Detective Comics, Volume 3, issue number 1040. And to start out with comments about the A and the B cover for this issue, here's Comics for Thomas.
Now here we have Detective Comics, Volume 3, issue 1040. I'm sorry, I am looking at my phone to make sure I'm saying that right again. I don't, this isn't a series that, I read or collect, but I am a Batman fan, so it's kind of cool that it does show him behind bars there. I don't know anything about this story or this run, so I can't really speak on that very well, but the cover's not bad, not too bad at all. So, all right, now I have the variant cover. This is a very cool cover. It's cool to see him in the suit, kind of tied up behind bars. I'd be kind of interested to see what the story's like as well, because he's gonna get out of there. You probably I would wonder why he got in there in the first. Why is he in there in the first place, right? Who arrested the bats? So it's funny because I think I'm more into it because he's got the suit on compared to not having it. I don't know. The art itself as well would appeal to me to want to know more what's going on inside.
So Cookie, what do you think of Detective Comics 1040 A and B cover?
Hey guys, Cookie here from Just a Little Podcast. On this week's episode of Cover By, we have Detective Comics Volume 3, Issue 1040, which is The Weekender, A Quiet and Unsung Death of Kurt Langstrom. So of course with this we have cover A, which is a very interesting cover to say the least. You have Bruce Wayne behind bars, very vibrant, very colorful. However, it's got that element of almost like Metropolis rather than Gotham. With Gotham, of course, it's being dark, gritty in the streets, versus Metropolis is very vibrant, very colorful and open. So it's kind of a little toss-up on that one. But at the same time, the artwork looks really, really great on that. Then you have cover B, which is Batman in chains and bondage rather than Bruce Wayne. And it's just kind of very generic in that sense because there's nothing else going on. It's just Batman in chains. However, it's extremely detailed, and I love the detail on it. So this is going to be a really hard pick to pick cover A or cover B. Let's find out.
So I think in this week's episode, we have a very tough choice because I think both covers are strong. Looking at the A cover, we have Bruce Wayne behind bars. Now, how often is it that we actually have Bruce Wayne on the cover? I don't think it's that often. More so we see him on the cover in his Batman persona. So I like the fact that it's Bruce Wayne. I also like the angle that the artist took in drawing him behind bars. Then we look at the B cover, and that's strong too. What that reminds me of is a scene, the Batman's nightmare scene from the movie Batman vs. Superman. That looks exactly like straight out of there where he's chained up and Superman flies in and rips his cowl off. That's what that certainly reminds me of. And I've seen this cover in person. And being on cardstock and that nice slick gloss to it, it really makes that image pop even more. So originally, when I looked at both of these covers, I thought, well, I know which one I'm going to pick as my favorite. But the more I really looked at both covers and analyzed them both, I actually changed my mind. And when I changed my mind to the one I'm going to pick, I have definitely stuck with that choice. I haven't flip-flopped back and forth once I made up my decision. And I'll tell you what my pick is going to be. First, we're going to see what the boys are going to pick, and we'll head back to Comics for Thomas for his pick.
So obviously I am going with B on this one. The A is good, A is fine, but just having the suit and him facing kind of facing the screen or whatever, and having tied up, the cover stands out to me a lot more definitely than cover A.
So naturally, I had to go with cover B. I think cover B really screams out Gotham, really screams out like the depression in Batman's eyes of being chained up, being locked up. Even though this seems like this is more of a storyline that's related around Bruce Wayne being locked up rather than Batman, nevertheless, Batman is his alter ego, and the fact that Batman is now having to be suppressed while Bruce Wayne is locked up and he can't show his true identity. He has to keep that a secret. So the fact is, Batman is technically chained up, and I think it's a really good representation of what's going to be inside this book. I think it's interesting, and yeah, I'm liking it. Cover B, you're going for me.
Hey, I can't fight either choice that's been made here because, as I said, I think this is a very difficult choice. Both covers are very strong. But the one that I'm going to go with is cover A. And the reason I'm picking cover A is for the fact that we don't see Bruce Wayne on the cover very often. So I like that. And the title on the cover says Bruce Wayne behind bars. It doesn't say Batman behind bars. It says Bruce Wayne. But originally I was going to pick the B cover, but what swayed me to the A cover was the fact that in Bruce Wayne's shadow, you see the little tips of Batman's ears reflected in his shadow. So Batman is acknowledged on the cover too. And I just thought that was a nice little touch, a nice little nod. And although the B cover is stunning, the A cover is what I'm going to go with. So all three of us have had our say, and unfortunately we're saying buy A cover because B is the winner today. So what did you think? Did we pick the cover that you would have picked too if you were on cover buy? Let me know in the comment section below. Your comments are always appreciated, encouraged, and welcome. Give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure to do so as well. I certainly would appreciate that, as well as sharing this video with anyone that you think might enjoy it. It's a great way to show support to the Cover By series and show support to my channel. So in our next edition of Cover By, we're back to Marvel, and we're going to talk, I think it's time we put a lady in the spotlight for Cover By. How about Carol Danvers? But we're not going to do her Captain Marvel current era. We're going to do something from her Ms. Marvel era on the next Cover By. So on behalf of Comics for Thomas and Cookie from Just a Little Podcast, thanks for joining me for today's edition of Cover By. Take care.